Top of the morning to you. This is Monday with Friday, preparing you for a better week ahead. You don't have to be religious or spiritual to recognize that there is something called evil. Whether you believe in a devil, a personal being or not, I can most assuredly track with your thinking if you feel even for moments that the devil, whatever it is, sometimes inhabits people. The measure of evil that has flowed from people in the modern era manifested in genocide and intolerable cruelty against humanity, whether in African states like Uganda, Rwanda, Sudan, Ethiopia, South Africa during apartheid, European states like Croatia, Yugoslavia, and of course Germany, the Holocaust, all attest to a sub-level beneath humanity that can only be called diabolic. Perhaps I should not go superlative just yet, for what shall be left to say about the several genocidal and evil exhibits in the Caribbean and Americas ever since Europe came west? What superlatives to define the wickedness upon the Taino, Caribs and Arawaks in the Caribbean, and upon the Pequot, Cherokee, Yana, Yahi, Maidu, 𝐸𝐴𝑡𝐚𝐭, Maidu and Tubatulabal, as they were all brutalized, liquidated and evaporated, even as their lands were being stolen and sacred spaces desecrated. What word do we use to describe the indescribable evils of the transatlantic slave trade and the so-called institution of slavery visited upon African human beings in America for 400 years and then modernized through Jim Crow for another 100 years more? How would you describe the behaviors of agents of the American federal government today, capriciously, viciously, and with gleeful evil, apprehending people based on the color of their skin, their accent, and their ethnicity, damaging their property, smashing their car windows, assaulting their bodies, denying their dignity, ignoring their nationality and humanity? Well, most people, myself included, have said as our default answer, they are the American Gestapo. But I have seen a perspective, however, that suggests that ICE is no Gestapo. What they are instead is slave patrols. You see, during slavery, enslaved humans were property, not people. Then, such people who escaped were sought after by slave patrols for slave masters to recover their property. Now, today, it might be argued, the people whom ICE encounters, mistreats, abuses, and even kill are not, in these ICE agents' view, human. Neither are they property. Instead, they are considered and treated as liabilities. They are aliens. A liability to America because they supposedly drain America's economy and resources, poison the blood of the state, and become garbage in the land. The argument goes further that Americans who see this ugly scourge called ICE as German Gestapo rather than American Slave Patrol find it less embarrassing to associate ICE with another evil scourge far away from us, and far away from us in time, rather than related to one homegrown that is still with us. By now it should be clear to you that at the heart of all of these acts of evil against human beings, men, women, children, sick, well, rich, poor, religious, atheist, old, young, all created as equally as the demon-possessed serpents who have harmed them all through history, is hate, white supremacy, and racism. Today is Martin Luther King Day in America. And frankly, the whole world should know by now this man's name and his work. He, Mohandas Gandhi, and Nelson Mandela are only three of the many Nobel Peace Prize winners who spent their entire lives facing down racism. I never knew the day would come when I would have to make a distinction between a Nobel Prize winner and a Nobel Prize fraud and a Nobel Prize farce, both the very same person, but here we are. There's a trinity of evils, or triplets as Dr. King referenced them: racism, economic exploitation, and militarism. King defined them so in the 1960s in America, and they remain with us, stronger than ever, never abating. These three alone should disqualify any claim of America being Christian. So long as these remain, America is, despite any other claims to good or goodness, fundamentally evil, since each of these have killed and continue to kill thousands, tens of thousands of people at home and abroad annually. A 2023 University of California study reveals poverty as the fourth leading cause of deaths in America, 295,000 people annually. And poverty is only one aspect and result of economic exploitation. And although the United States military doesn't kill thousands of people annually, at least not during peacetime, America's military budget is arguably immoral compared to what is apportioned for housing, education, health and human services, and social services in the same national budget, all of which ought to be categorized as national security, because if people are unwell, unhealthy, unsecured, unhoused, and hungry, how can the nation be considered secure? The Commonwealth Fund ranked American healthcare number 10 among the world's top 10 high-income countries. Several studies revealed that as many as 45,000 Americans die annually due to the lack of health care. That in the world's richest country, people die from poverty, hunger, lack of health care, and insurance, while no dollar is spared for military equipment at home and abroad and goonish slave patrols on American streets, is shameful and a travesty. It is evil. And America is not Christian. In one of his richest speeches, Dr. King's rhetoric rang loudly when he asked essentially, how long will it be before the arc of the moral universe bends toward justice? How long? He asked. Not long, he answered many times. I know it's been almost 61 years since he said so, but let us not lose hope. And let us know for sure that that arc does not bend by itself. We bend it by pushing on with justice and righteousness despite all the evil thrown at us. I am Michael Friday, and your week just got better. I'll see you again soon. Happy Monday, all the way to Friday.